On deck with Tim Black.
This guy on Instagram, Turkey, he's the one that has completely like taken over boxing. All the big fights now are in the Middle East. It's a spectacle. It's a show. The guy's got more money, he knows what to do with. He couldn't spend his money every day, so he's like having fun with it. And he's like, oh, boxing's a little down. I'm gonna take over boxing. I love boxing. Oh, let's do a comedy festival over here. I'm gonna bring in the biggest names. The guy's got Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, Joe Coy, Russell Peters. Some are huge and some aren't as big, but it's just like I can't imagine the budget for this week-long comedy festival. But I saw like David Cross did a whole thing on how can these comedians go over there and they know this guy is evil and things like that. And I'm just going, I'm not into politics, and we're all guilty. We're all guilty. Listen, I'll put it like this. When I first started doing stand-up, the most money I ever made and honestly the best promoters when I first started, when I didn't have a name, you're just going into cities blind and you don't know if people know you, were drug dealers. And I knew they were drug dealers. They were cleaning their money through the comedy shows. But you always got paid, always in cash. They would send you a deposit and you get your flight. They always had your hotels. And I never did one of these shows where it was by myself. It was always like an ensemble show. There was like 4 or 5 comics on there and we'd be in a theater. And some would be packed and some wouldn't. But we knew what it was. So for me, I look at it different. I had a brother die of a drug overdose. It sucks, but I can't stop people from using drugs. I can't stop people from selling drugs. And this is way before my brother passed away. But looking back on those shows, I wouldn't be like, I regret it. I needed the money at the time. You know what I mean? I hope they ask me. I'll go in a heartbeat next year.
I believe Gurr's telling the truth. Yeah, Gurr's telling the truth here, man. And this is something, when I was looking at this comedy thing, and they were complaining about Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Chris Tucker, Bill Burr. It's 50. Hannibal Buress. I saw a long list of people going there, right? I'm leaving out so many people. It was a lot of people. 50 comedians. I've only listed 5. I can't think of all the names. And part of what pissed me off about it is we got a couple of comedians that are, they're the left wing of the media, of the comedy world. They got a certain audience, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of make money complaining about comedy. Like they're comedians, but they're really, I don't know, social justice comedians, like in a way. Before we go any further, let me let you know, the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. But not really, because they really don't fight for anything, really. Like, there's things you can fight for that make a difference in people's lives. Like, that you really care about the kids. You know what I'm saying? And then there's things you can jump on a train, you can jump on a Democratic talking point shit, right? And support that. It'll be whatever they're supporting at the time that will make you look good to those people. And I get it, like it's a good career move for you. But that doesn't mean you're really a good person. It just means you lined up over there. You know what I'm saying? You lined up behind the people that believe this thing, okay? So that to me does not make you better than anyone else. And when you do that for like comedy for this, it's bullshit, because when I did a little research about the comedy festival in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, I didn't know that they always have comedy there. People been talking like comedy was new, like it just came to the Middle East. Man, motherfuckers been going out there performing comedy. This is just a festival. There have been people that have flown out, like if you got money, you can reach Chris Rock and be like, Chris, you have your people call Chris and be like, look, we would like to have, the Majesty would like to have Chris Rock at his daughter's birthday party, or at his graduation, or whatever the fuck. And he'll be like, man, I ain't coming out there. You know, I ain't coming to Turkey. I ain't going no damn Turkey. Why I go to Turkey for? Shit, I wish I would go to Turkey. Why would I go to Turkey? Turkey too far. I don't want to go to Turkey. I don't want turkey. I don't even eat turkey here. Turkey's dry. Give me some chicken. Give me some yard, but I don't want no turkey. So what I'm saying is, if you got money, then he'll be like, well, tell Chris, whatever his normal fee is, we will triple it. Times 6. Which is 30. We will 30 it. Tell him I'm on my way. When do you want me in Turkey? Turkey, here I come. You got some gravy for the turkey. And then he's going to Turkey to do this shit. What I'm trying to tell you is, it is hypocritical. It is lies. It is propaganda. It is manufactured media bullshit. This whole outrage. Now, to the average person, it may not seem that way. Maybe you don't know. You know what I'm saying? They hope you don't really know that people have been going to these places, doing comedy in the Middle East and different places. It happens all the time. You know, also, I want you to know, Hitler was a very popular guy. Remember Hitler? He was very popular. Yeah, he was a ruler of a country. He was the lead guy, and everyone knew him, and they knew what he was on. He was on that bullshit, and people was fine, and people were designing clothes for him, and he would call people on the phone. Hey, how you do? How you do? You know, shit like that. He was just like any other leader of a country. They knew what was going on. It wasn't until he tried to take over the world that people was like, maybe we need to do something about that motherfucker. So what I'm saying is, this notion that people going out here to do comedy was going, it's this atrocious thing like this. Like, yeah, you may not agree with what they're doing. People be doing it quietly all the time. People do shit all the time. People take gigs all the time. They don't get publicized all the time, but they, for whatever reason, they wanted to publicize this. And the people that are talking about it and shaming other people probably didn't get invited. It is what it is. I got invited to go overseas before. I'm going to tell you the truth. I was more concerned about being able to come back home. On one side, I say, wow, this is a great opportunity. I've never been out the country. But then I was thinking, if I go out the country, I like to go somewhere closer that may not cut my head off. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, that's me. So I like what Gary Owen said here. And I want people to know when he's being open and transparent, he's saying to whatever extent. And he said, look, man, I performed in front of drug dealers. They did the best. They had the best comedy nights, the best comedy clubs. They paid the most money. I had to chase people for my money. In comedy, people coming up, sometimes people don't pay you. I worked with comedy promoters early, when I was in my late 20s or whatever. A friend of mine used to throw events in DC, and we used to ride around and look at all the, when you have rent out a comedy club, you go around and look at the other clubs, you see people, that have other events in other places. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole different life, man. You see all types of promoters, man. Some promoters, janky promoters was a movie, but it's a real thing. So what I'm saying is, comedians have been through shit. Most comedians that you meet, unless they were someone coming out of Hollywood that has all these connections, most of them came up through the dirt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They came up in the dirt. They've seen some things. They may have done some things. They've been around some things. They've been hired by certain people. All types of shady shit. This is the business. Okay, the business is dirty. I don't know what people be thinking. So I like the fact that Gary Owen is being open enough to at least tell the truth to a certain extent, which is, that ain't the worst thing he would be done for money. That's not the worst. You know what I'm saying? He's worked for other people that were questionable. It wasn't his business where they got their money from. He needed money. They was paying. Ta-da! He didn't do anything to anybody. He wasn't slinging for him. There was a comedy club. He went there, he performed, he came home. Now, for somebody who's so progressive or whatever they think they are, meanwhile, they work at a job cutting up dogs. Meanwhile, they work for a job that makes bombs. Meanwhile, they work for a job that makes horrible food, that makes people fat, obese, creates type 2 diabetes, whatever. We got people that complain about some people's jobs who do who knows what for a living. And everyone has high standards for what everyone else needs to do. That's what I say. Everyone has high standards for what the other guy needs to do. That's it. And so I like the fact that Gary Owen dismisses all that shit. Now, I don't like the fact he says, I don't really get into politics. Because you always talk, several times you've talked politics. And if you don't know anything about politics, why do you keep talking about politics? I don't know anything about pickleball. And I don't talk pickleball. Because I don't know that about pickleball. I don't just say, ooh, people talk about pickleball. Time for me to talk about pickleball because there's views in it, pickleball. Nah, I'd be like, yeah, I see views in pickleball, but what good would me talk about pickleball be when I don't know shit about pickleball? So yeah, that's the only thing I got a problem with Gary is he talk about shit he don't know. Then he gets in hot water on purpose because it's a game. It's a game of views and a game of controversy to get your name circulated. And Gary, all shucks, does an all shucks. It really works when you're a white guy. All shucks. What I say? I say something. I ain't know what I say. It's what I say. I say something dumb. I didn't know what I said. I mean, really, y'all, I didn't know what I did. That's your wife? I didn't even know. Oh, she had on a ring? I didn't know. I thought that was a rapper from some M&M's or something. I couldn't tell. I thought she had a Hershey kiss in her hand. I know she was married. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Come on, man. It's me, Gary. Why you punching me in the head, Tim? Why you? See, Gary comes off as that type of guy. Hey, Gary, man. Hey, Gary. What about $3,000 you owe me? What? Me? Oh, man, I was going to pay you, man. I didn't see you standing over there. You saw me. That's when you ran out, Gary. I saw you running. No, man, not me. I was running to the car to go get my phone to call you to tell you that I was going to pay you next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday. That's why But besides all that, I like Gary Owen. Thank you, Gary Owen, for this clip. Look, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, these are just the headliner people to get news when their names are dragged for whatever reason. If Americans want Americans to not do business with Saudi Arabia, maybe America should stop doing business with Saudi Arabia. I think America should stop doing business with Saudi Arabia. That's what I think. Before we make individual citizens who haven't been elected to shit start doing business with Saudi Arabia. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Maybe pick a political candidate that has committed to not do business with a human rights offender. And maybe if we on this, since we talk about this shit, and some people haven't seen my video, maybe it'd be a good idea if we would just stop being a human rights violator our damn selves. Hey, maybe we could do that. Maybe we could take that small stand. Maybe we would not fund Israel. Yeah, because that's a human rights violation that we're funding right now. America, right now. Right now, that's what's happening. And if you say it too many times in your live stream, you may get demonetized. Say it a few more times, you may lose your entire channel. That's America. So, yeah, we pick and choose what to be outraged about. That's all. And some of the people that are outraged about these comedians going over to tell jokes for an hour are people who just didn't get a chance to go tell those jokes, or people who have done other dirty things you and I have no idea what they've done or what they are willing to do. So, yeah. Next.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.